Before I start the episode, I just want to show off enemies that we still haven't found yet on the Mounty Toy Plateau. We have found all the enemies on the Mounty Toy base and in the Mounty Toy caves, so all that's left is the Mounty Toy Plateau. We have found some of the enemies on the Mounty Toy Plateau, so I'm just going to be showing off the ones that we still haven't found yet. So anyways, here we go. The first enemy is the Megaborg. It's protected from PSI attacks and has very high stats, and it can use PSI attacks such as PK Beam. The next enemy is the Gargoyle. It's a strong enemy that can use regular attacks and PK Fire Beta, but it's also able to use the Stone of Origin. And next we have the Grizzly Bear. It's a stronger version of the Polar Bear. It has the ability to attack twice in one turn, and use a final blow attack that kills one party member. Last but not least, we have the Super Energy. It's a more difficult version of the Energy Robot. It can either use a normal attack or fully heal up an ally, and it also explodes upon defeat. Now let's start the episode. Blue Ninten here, and welcome back to EarthBound Beginnings. So from last time, we went on Mounty Toy, and unfortunately Teddy got seriously injured, but now we're back with Lloyd, and yeah, I know that Lloyd is a lot weaker, but oh well, hopefully we'll make it. Also, Ninten is now level 31, Anna is now level 27, and Lloyd is now level 28. And I'm not sure exactly which PSI Anna's learned since last time, but I do know of two PSI which are really useful that she knows now. One is Life Up Pi, which heals all allies, and the second is PK Beam Gamma, which, as I've stated before, can kill an enemy instantly, which is really useful since the enemies here are really hard. For example, this Gargoyle, but I'm not going to bother fighting it, I'm just going to run away. Okay. So, we're going to be going to the Mounty Toy Lake, which only has one new enemy, the Omuk, which we just found. The Omuk is a more difficult version of the Muk. It can use standard attacks, Defense Up Alpha, Brain Shock, Darkness, PK Freeze Beta, and PK Fire Beta, and it's also capable of stealing items, so be careful, I guess, because you could have a very important item that it could steal and screw you over with. I kind of wish that there were more enemies that you could find at the Mounty Toy Lake, just because, like, maybe there could be a robot enemy, or even an upgraded version of a previous enemy would have been pretty cool. I'm not exactly sure which one, but, I could probably think about that another time. Also, I'm just gonna heal up Anna quickly because she's pretty low on HP. Oh, and the big bag is disappeared now. So there's no more big bag, which kind of sucks. And of course, another Omuk. I'm just gonna use PK Beam Gamma on it again. Oh, I actually thought that Brain Shock only worked on PSI users. But apparently not. Unless Lloyd is secretly a PSI user, but he hasn't let us know this at all. Okay, so this is a boat, and you can only get to this with Lloyd, because as you can see, the motor is broken, but Lloyd can fix it somehow. So yeah, now we're in a boat, which is pretty cool, and there's this whirlpool, and oh no! Oh great, another factory. This better not be like Duncan's factory. But luckily it's not, because there are actually no enemies here. So, thank God. I don't want to see another stupid Duncan's factory. Also, I actually didn't know that you could speed that up by holding B. But, I don't think there's anything that you can find here, except for one thing which we will find. But there are these, fish tanks, which are pretty cool. Look at all the fish. That one looks like a magic heart, and that one looks like a Cheep Cheep. They look more like Cheep Cheeps. But it's just so empty and actually pretty creepy. Oh, and look, there's a shiny Cheep Cheep and a gray Cheep Cheep. And also a ladder. And oh, wow, the glass is cracking. This is a robot. Let's check it. Feeling Ninten's presence, the robot came back to life. Oh crap, are we gonna have to fight it? My name is Eve. I have been waiting for you. My creator was George. He was taken to the end of the universe, then brought back later. I am here to protect you. That is my purpose. And, oh crap, the glass is cracking. And now the factory's flooded. But we are back at the Mounty Toy Lake. So, Eve is really strong. You really want to grind off of her because she... Okay, let me just show this. So, I'm going to guard with all the characters. Almost 1,000 damage. So, I would really recommend grinding with Eve. I'd recommend getting Ninten to level 35 because that's when he learns super healing. So, I'm actually going to pause it here and just grind off some enemies. So, I'll be right back. Okay, finally, I got Ninten to level 35, and also Anna and Lloyd to level 32. So that means that Ninten now knows super healing, which is really useful because, like, if Anna were to die, then Ninten can revive Anna, unless Ninten also dies, but we have Eve, so I don't think that'll happen. But Anna also learned some really useful PSI. She learned PK Freeze Omega, PK Fire Gamma, and also PK Thunder Gamma, but I don't really care about PK Thunder because it's a really bad PSI attack. So now we are at the Mounty Toy Peak, where we can find a ton of new enemies that Eve can kill instantly. The peak is pretty hard to get through just because it's a little confusing, but you should be able to get through it. So this is a new enemy, the EVEbound. It's a stronger version of the Megaborg enemy. It can use standard attacks, PK Freeze Omega, PK Fire Beta, PK Beam Beta, PK Beam Gamma, and PK Thunder Gamma. I'm just gonna guard because, of course, Eve can kill it instantly. I love Eve. She's really strong. I mean, I thought we were screwed when Teddy left our party, but no, Eve is much better. Technically, she's the best party member. Even though she doesn't have her own stats. She's about as useful as the Flying Man when you first get to Magic Hand. Well, actually, no, much more useful. Okay, so another new enemy, the Star Miner. It's a tougher version of the Bomber enemy, and it can use the Bomb in battle. So, we're getting these Duncan Factory vibes. But, luckily, we have Eve, so she can kill it instantly. Oh, and we got the Super Bomb, which is actually one of the best items in the game. It's basically a screen clear item. Well, actually, I think I talked about it before. So, yeah, I just mentioned it again. So I guess if you forgot the first time, now you know the second time. Okay, so we found the EVEborg already, but now we see the Gigaborg. It is a tougher version of the Megaborg. It can use PK Alpha and PK Gamma, and it also occasionally drops the laser beam weapon for Lloyd, but it won't matter because we now have the plasma beams, which are much better than the laser beams. And we don't even have any space for Lloyd, so it doesn't matter that much. So it's like two reskins of a previous enemy are now here. And I don't know if the Gigaborg is better or the EVEborg. Well, actually, probably the EVEborg because it can use more PSI. There's only one item we can actually find here in the Mounty Toy Peak, which we'll get to, but first we're running into more Gigaborgs. It's in like a tiny alcove, and by the way, there's actually one room that was in the Japanese version, but was kind of removed in the North American version. It really wasn't, it was actually moved to somewhere else, but I'll show that once we actually find it. Oh yeah, and also, another thing that I'll talk about later is that you can actually find one more enemy in the Mounty Toy Lake, but, technically, you can find it somewhere else. Well, actually, yeah, you can find it somewhere else, which is what we're going to actually be finding soon. But this is the alcove I was talking about with the item. It contains the C pendant, which is basically the H2O pendant, fire pendant, and sorry, earth pendant all in one. So we're gonna be giving it to Anna since she's our biggest party member. And now we're going to be going up here, and actually I'm going to be grinding for a bit more and getting Anna to level 35 because I believe she learns really good PSI at that level, so I'm gonna cut again. Okay, so it turns out that I actually only needed to get Anna to level 34 for the PSI I was thinking about, but there is one more that she can learn at level 35, so I just brought her to level 35, and I got Nintendo to level 37, and Lloyd to level 35. Anna has learned 3 new PSI. One is Life Up Omega, which heals all allies completely, which is really useful, and also PK Fire Omega, which is basically a screen clear item like the Super Bomb, and PK Beam Omega, which I don't remember exactly what it does, but I think it's just PK Beam Beta on all enemies, not like PK Beam Gamma, because that's basically what PK Fire Omega is. So, yeah, Eve is really good, but unfortunately, yeah, R7038XX. Let's see how Eve does against it. 56 damage. New and unfortunately improved. Whoa, 433 damage to Eve. Luckily, R7038XX will only attack Eve. It won't attack any of your party. And by the way, just like last time, you cannot use like PK Freeze Gamma on R703XX to get its HP down to really low. See? No effect. And PK Beam won't work either. So, I wonder if there were to be one more stage of R7038, like, after R7038XX, would it be R7039 or R703XX? Okay, I'm not gonna finish that. But I do wonder why they didn't just call it R7039. I guess XX sounds cooler. How about R7038XL? R7038 Light IXL 3D. New. 2D. I don't know. Like, what am I supposed to say? There's nothing interesting. It's just Eve's fighting R7038XX, Eve's doing nothing to it, and R7038XX is doing a ton to Eve. A ton of damage, that is. Whoa. Eve exploded. Eve. Oh, and Lloyd advances to level 36. Lloyd, we don't need this right now. You ruined the moment. I can't believe you, Lloyd. You ruined everything. And now Eve is just scraps. And by the way, you can actually use the flea bag in that battle to make Eve not die. So it's sort of like the other R7038 battle. But it's only capable, you're only able to do that in the Japanese version. And also everything gets all glitchy. Robot Eve was demolished and moved no more. Examining the wreckage caused music to start. Nintendo remembered the tune. So now we know the 7th melody, so let's play it all on the ocarina. Did you hear it? Yes. Only one more melody to go. So, I actually wonder if someone's tried to glitch the game where they get both Teddy and Eve by using the Fleabag glitch. I'm not sure if it's possible, but who knows, maybe it is. So this is Juana, which is the final version of the Evil Sisters Who Are Way Too Strong Committee. Yeah, I forgot the name of the group. But Juana is a stronger version of Kelly. She can deal standard attacks, raise defense up by smiling a daring smile, and can use Piggy Beam Gamma, Piggy Fire Gamma, Piggy Thunder Beta, and Piggy Thunder Gamma. I'm gonna forfeit these slip away because, again, she is way too strong. I am glad she used Piggy Beam Gamma on Anna and not Lloyd, since he doesn't have a Franklin badge. Sorry, I almost called it a 4th D-slip badge. It would be cool if you could get a 3rd Franklin badge, but I guess it would make Piggy Beam Gamma a little too weak for enemies, so it's like, now let's just give it 2, and maybe sometimes it'll hit the person without the Beam Gamma. Okay, but anyways, there's this gravestone, and it has X hex on it, so the tail in the caves had X hex on it. Then Arsono38XX, he had XX on his chest, but there's also XX in its name. So what does XX mean? Well, let's see if we can find out by checking it. Ninten, welcome. I always believed that you would find your way here. Your great-grandmother Maria's love was scattered in the form of melodies. I have a melody for you, listen and remember. Ninten remembered the tune. The crystal fragments had broken off, stopped glowing, and disappeared. So now we know all 8 melodies. So all that's left to do now is go to Magic Hand. Okay, so I'm going to quickly save up at this guy's house, because this is actually the last save point in the game, by the way. And yeah, unfortunately, the game's almost over. But, you know, games have to end, and this is an NES game. And I guess this game is actually pretty long for an NES game, but it is an RPG, so kind of makes sense. Slam. Okay, let's go to Queen Mary's castle. If I can actually get there. This might be our last time talking to these guys. See you later. Yeah. Or never. Here we are. Let's see if they say something different. Nope. Okay, what about the other guy? Yeah, everyone loves Ninten. We know this. Please sing to me the melodies that you have learned. Yes, that's right. That is the song. Oh, Gigu. I loved him. I loved him as if he was my own child. He was always wagging his tail, just like a pup. Except for when I try to sing him lullabies. Ah, George, this is your wife Maria. Oh my gosh, who could have known? Queen Mary is Maria! I'm coming to join you. My purpose is complete. It's not like there were any hints that she was. And now, Magic Hand is like, all ruined? After telling the story to Ninten, with a rush of wind, Queen Mary vanished. As she disappeared, so did Magic Hand. Magic Hand was a mirage born of Maria's consciousness. And now we're back at the gravestone, and we've run into Juana again. I'm gonna run away because I do not want to fight her. Also, you notice this sing feature. Well, we can't use that right now, so just ignore that. Okay, so now we're going to be going into this cave, and there's some pretty creepy music playing. Okay, this is the room I was talking about earlier with, like, these people inside of it, where it was moved from the Japanese version. Oh, the darkness is so thick. Can't see you very well. But could it be? Is it the little girl from Snowman? Anna, I believe it was. Hey, what about me and Lloyd? Brace yourself. Your mom was locked in a room in back. What? Don't you mean in the back? Do not try to rescue us now. First, the mothership must be destroyed. Yeah. So, next time on EarthBound Beginnings, we're going to be destroying the mothership at the top of Mounty Toy. So, until next time, this is BlueNin10, signing out. Oh yeah, and before I forget, there's one more enemy that we still haven't found yet, and that's the last Starman, but here it is. It's an upgraded variant of the Blue Starman, and, well, it's the last version of the Starman. I mean, that's kind of why it's called that. It has high defense and access to tons of PSI, and it also appears in groups of up to 4. And normally I'd run away, but Anna now knows Pig Fire Omega, so let's just watch them burn. And also them ready for an attack. And also attack. And use Piggy Beam Gamp or Beta. Okay, can you let Anna attack now? Thank you. Boom. 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 And kapow.